Well, hey everyone, thanks so much for your patience and joining us on another episode of Party of Two. As mentioned before, I'm super excited to be joined by Jamaal Gittens, who's one of the co-owners of Tropikal, a fantastic restaurant in the Montreal area. Jamaal, I understand that you and your co-founder Jay Anthony, this is a fairly new adventure. How'd you decide to get started, and why pursue this journey?
Well, so me and Jay, we go far back. We started being friends like when we were like 11, 12 years old. Been best friends ever since. And he's been a chef. He's very popular. He's on TV doing a lot of big things. And he said, Jamaal, listen, you've been in business for a long time, which I own Telus and Kudo stores.
Yeah.
And so he's like, you've been in business for over 15 years. Let's just try to do this thing together, right? And I said, you know what? Why not? I like new challenges, and he's good at what he does. I'm good at what I do, and we just put our talents together and made it happen.
Yeah, and so tell the audience, what's the concept? I think it's super cool. I know you guys are kind of the buzz and talk of the town, but what's the concept, and how should the audience think of Tropikal?
Tropikal, the concept is really, I like to say that we have all the facets that you need in a restaurant, in terms of we have a DJ on Fridays and Saturdays, so the ambiance is there. It's a beautiful restaurant. We have velvet walls, nice banquettes, very upscale. The food is to die for, obviously. Jay takes care of that. The food is amazing. And we also have cocktails that are very high-end cocktails. So it's not your typical just rum and cokes or, vodka cranberries or regular stuff like that. We really pride ourselves on the cocktail aspect as well, so there's a bit of everything for everybody here.
Yeah. What's your cocktail of choice?
My cocktail of choice is the Palenque cocktail.
Okay. And what's in it?
There's ginger beer in it. There's some a special apple syrup that's a little bit spicy and whatnot. Comes in a nice wine glass. It's my favorite by far. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that sounds super tasty. Like, I think it gives the audience a sense of, what you're trying to accomplish. And maybe tell us a bit more about the menu. What are some of, your favorite items? And if, we were guests for the first time, what would you recommend for all of us?
So obviously we have, like the standard jerk chicken where people are very familiar with jerk chicken. They go to Jamaica, they go on vacation. Yeah. I think probably 9 out of 10 people know about jerk chicken, right? So we do have that as well. Okay. But we also have other dishes. So we have like curry goat, for example. That's a very Trinidadian dish, curry. For people that aren't very familiar with Caribbean cuisine, we also have dishes like a Rasta pasta, where everyone knows pasta, right? So it gives you a more of a, I would say, like an entry into the Caribbean cuisine culture. If you're not ready to dabble with a curry goat, let's say, or an oxtail, or kind of more exotic meats, you could start off with a Rasta pasta, which is delicious.
Yeah, and I read somewhere that you and Jay are trying to create this like high-end version of Caribbean food that maybe doesn't exist yet in the Montreal market. Is that the idea, or maybe tell us a little bit more about what you hope this can become?
So like I said, I've been born and raised in Montreal, Jay as well, and what we've noticed is that there's good Caribbean restaurants, so I'm not saying that there's a lot of jerk chicken spots, there's a lot of Haitian restaurants, but I feel like, for example, when you want to go out with, for a birthday or for an anniversary or with your friends to celebrate some kind of occasion, you typically go to, like a high-end Italian restaurant, and you buy a bottle, and there was nothing, I feel, that you could go and, let's say, get a curry goat plate and still be able to dine in a high-end establishment with music, with a DJ that you're hearing, let's say R&B, hip-hop, some reggae and stuff like that, and get kind of that still celebration feel that, so I feel that's what we really bring to the table.
I love it. I mean, I love the idea and kind of the entrepreneurial vision. And tell us maybe about this, the journey so far. The first year usually is always the hardest, right? for any business, restaurant industry. But this is year 2, I think. And, how's it going? And maybe tell us about some of the obstacles, obviously, given some of what
Where
has
do I
happened?
start? Where do I start? So this is actually year one. So our first
Okay.
calendar year is our anniversary is March 5th. So March
Okay.
5th will be 1 year, but it hasn't been easy. Obviously, you know, the COVID situation that has affected everybody has affected us as well. For example, staffing issues, right? So 90% of the staff that we had before the holidays is all gone. So because there was a lockdown here in Quebec, so our minister, which people love so greatly, you know, he basically shut down restaurants the day before New Year's, right? So
Wow.
like the day before New Year's, everything shut down.
Yeah.
So we had New Year's parties, we had
Right.
a New Year's dinner plan, we had a New Year's Day brunch plan, and you know, waitresses that get paid mostly on tips and bartenders on tips. When you close, that's their income is just gone, right? So when we reopened to get them back, a lot of them have found different career paths. Some of them went working for truck companies. Some of them went back to school. Some of them did different things that they felt was more secure, and they don't have to worry about open, close, open, close, open, close. So that was a big challenge of basically now we reopened. So it's to keep customers satisfied, and at the same time, while training these new staff, new kitchen staff, new bar staff, new waitresses, while still maintaining a high-end level of customer service, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And what are maybe the one or two things that you found that have really worked, for you to get through this? Because like you said, that's a lot of curveballs and, a lot of touch and go. I mean, what are maybe some things that have, allowed you to continue to fight through these things?
Well, I think the first thing that allowed us to continue to fight is that myself and Jay, we are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And to me, what defines an entrepreneur is your ability to when times get tough, is how you're going to persevere through those times, right? Because any entrepreneur, and you as well know that it's not always easy. It's not always smooth. It's not always, you have those ups, you have those downs, and those downs, when you persevere through those downs, is what really builds the character of your business, of you as an entrepreneur, and you learn and you kind of roll with the punches, So
Yeah.
to answer your question, for here, I would say what kept us going is just that having that spirit of, listen, times are tough. We're not getting any government support. Because we're new, the federal government is not giving us any, wage subsidies or rent subsidies or anything like that. But you know what? We can make this work. So it's just, cutting staff, working at the restaurant 24/7, being here every day and just putting our sweat into the business to keep it going, because we knew that once we get over that hump and once things do reopen, we do have a following. People do support us in the community. People like our product, right? So it was just to kind of get through that slump and then, take it from there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, I think sometimes, especially in the press, people only cover the good moments about entrepreneurship, without recognizing that most days it's actually, it's a grind, right? And then you have to really push to work through it. And so what happened? I mean, like you got together, you obviously double the hustle effort. But did you? I mean, it sounded like you had to close the dining rooms, right? Like
yes.
Did you go delivery only or pickup only, or how did you? Yeah.
What helps us a lot, as you said, is obviously DoorDash in terms of delivery, right? So I thought, well, imagine COVID right now, as bad as it is. Imagine COVID without these delivery services like a DoorDash. Imagine how bad, how much worse it would be. Because then at least businesses like myself and many others were able to still continue to serve people, and people would order food, and so it still gave us a source of income, even if we're not a primarily takeout restaurant. It still sustained us and kept the name Tropikal relevant in people's minds, and the order, and we're still visible, and we're still around, we're still there, So I have to really thank DoorDash and others that COVID without that would be even more bad, it would be worse.
Well, we have to thank you. I have to say that we started this company for people like you, right? And people like Mom and who also worked out of a small restaurant, maybe not with the same types of vision, but still like the same kind of hustle. And and hard work in order to make things successful. And it was a privilege to be able to be, a partner in, especially the most dire times. We're getting out of it now, and thankfully we're getting out of it.
Oh, amen.
Yeah, right. Everyone's, very, very ready and excited to be out and celebrating, like you said, and doing those things that really make us human, and feel connected to one another. So I'm super happy to hear that, the worst is behind us. Maybe tell us about some of the things that excite you, for 2022, because it is almost your 1-year anniversary. Kudos and congratulations.
Thank you.
What's to come, for the year?
Well, we are in the works of opening a second Tropikal right now.
Okay.
We're still negotiating a deal and stuff like that, but it is in the works. It will happen. So Ottawa, we will be coming to Ottawa Ottawa in 2022. It's a matter of time. And also, like, the summer, I'm really looking forward to, because we survived COVID and we really didn't get to have a full, dining area, full experience. We still were cut at our knees at certain points, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like this year is the first year where, as you said, people are excited to come out, and also restaurants like myself, newer restaurants, are able to, get into summer and really, benefit off of people in the streets, walking around, wanting to be out. So, so that's what we're really looking forward to.
Yeah, and that sounds super exciting. How did you and Jay choose Ottawa as maybe the second location versus, other places?
Jay loves Ottawa. So Jay he loves Ottawa. When I was younger, in my more party days, Ottawa wasn't necessarily the to-go spot, back then. But now as I'm older, wife, kids, stuff like that, the Ottawa scene is something that I like, because Tropikal is more of a mature clientele. Like, we target more, I would say, late 20s, mid 40s, 50s, young professionals, so, and Ottawa has that demographic there, right? So we figured, let's go there.
Got it.
And from there, the sky's the limit, maybe San Francisco one day, you never know.
Yeah, bring it to SF, we can't wait. That would be amazing. I mean, I actually do think there would be an amazing market for you here, by the way. I think, what you and Jay have discovered, which is awesome, is one, something that's authentic to both of who you are and how you grew up. And two, I think you're finding this, gap in the market, right? Like, I think you're right. There's a lot of awesome casual cuisines, even of, Caribbean food, but maybe there doesn't yet exist something that is a little bit more elevated where you can, like you said, like, solve for some of those occasions for, special celebrations and things like this too. I think that's I'm super jazzed for you and Jay, because it sounds like, you went through hell and back to kind of get it going, and now you finally get to, reap those rewards and hopefully have a very, very successful summer.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah. Well, what are I'm curious, like, things that you are thinking about maybe when it comes to improving the customer experience. Like, are there things that you're like? It sounds like, getting staffing, that's a big priority. Are there other things that are priorities to make sure that, especially as maybe people come ready to get out in the summer, that you're going to be ready for all of that demand?
Yeah. So again, it's really staffing, because it comes down to, because you could have great food, you could have a beautiful restaurant, you could have all the other things, but if a customer comes into your restaurant and is not being served, or the waitress, the waiter doesn't know the menu, or you're at the bar and the bartender is not talking to you and not interacting with you, and to me, it's like, at the essence of everything, it's that customer experience, right? Because even if we are, I would say, like, new in the market or something that doesn't exist right now in the market, at the end of the day, people want to go to a place where they feel welcomed, where the waitress is smiling, where the bartender is happy, where, so that to us, that to me and Jay is really our focus in terms of getting the right people ready to serve, so.
And how are you doing that? Like, I mean, I know that staffing, like you said, it's tough for everyone right now, right? And there's some macro challenges with the economy and some things like this. What have you found to be successful in maybe getting the staff that you want?
Well, to get experienced staff right now, it's sad to say, but a lot of restaurants are closing down right now, right? So, and you know, my heart goes out to them. At the same time, though, it's an opportunity for us to kind of give their employees and kind of reach out to them and say, listen, like, I know this restaurant that you're at is closing down. You've been working there for 10 years, let's say, as a bartender, you have experience. We have this new restaurant, come join our team, you know? So that's what we're doing is kind of finding restaurants that are closing down, calling the owners, saying, listen, do you have any good staff members that you you care about, that you feel, you know, that you want to give them an opportunity to work at a different restaurant? So that's worked. We found a few people that way. There's obviously like Indeed, the apps, the social media platforms, you just, you know, post. But it's really, to me, it's like reaching out to those restaurants and giving their employees an opportunity to continue doing what they love for, you know, for a new, vibrant, fun team, you know? So
yeah, I hear you. Well, I like how you're still trying to, you know, make it about the ecosystem and not just about, you know, one place. That's awesome. Anything I can take for you? I know I've been, you know, asking you a bunch of questions. Are there questions that might be top of mind for you I can answer?
So I did read up on you a little bit, you know, and to me, it's like, it's not really a question, but I like the fact that you started from humble beginnings, you know. I read that like you were washing dishes, you were doing things like that, and now, you know, you're part of, I think I read that you were on the metaverse board team and stuff like that. And to know that someone could go from there to someone, you know, washing dishes, a simple dishwasher that people kind of look over and think as if it's a regular job, to being CEO of a multi-billion-dollar business, right? So to me, it's people like you I kind of look up to in terms of anything is possible. As long as you put that hard work into it and you have a dream, you have a goal, you know, and you surround yourself with people that are like-minded and, you know, that really want to reach those same goals as you do, then anything is possible.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, Jamaal. I think there's a lot of great fortune that have come, you know, my way, but I so agree with what you said, which is, you know, anything is possible, and you know, my journey, it really can be, you know, for everyone. In the sense that like anyone can go and get it. I think you just have to go and want it, and then put in the work, and then, you know, you do need some
willing to fail. I feel like willing to, you know, because not everything works out. You know, not everything is happy days, sun, and there's rainy days, right?
So most days are rainy.
You know, exactly.
Most days are cloudy, maybe I should say, and there's lots of rain and kind of thunderstorms, you know, mixed in between. But it is about focusing on what you can control, putting in the work, and then, you know, meeting, you know, great opportunities and luck, and that's really the kind of combination for a lot of these things. And you know, that's why I'm also super inspired by, you know, your story also with Jay, just because I actually didn't know that you were childhood friends. That's amazing to hear how, you know, like something that is so authentic to the both of you, and then now you're manifesting it into, you know, the world. It kind of feels a bit like what you were meant to do, you know, and you know, like you said, like business, sometimes there's, you know, ups and there's downs and sideways motions and things like this. But I think the fact that you're getting to work on what maybe you were meant to do, I think that has to feel special, and it's super impressive, and I am equally inspired.
Yeah, like I'll give you an example on that. It was my birthday last June, and I'm sitting by the bar. I have a couple friends with me, and I'm drinking, and I'm sitting, and it just hit me. I said, like, it's my birthday. I'm at my restaurant, at my bar. I had to see people enjoying themselves, having a blast, smiling, laughing. It was a very warm feeling inside, you know, that, you know, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Jamaal, thank you so much for everything that you do. Best of luck to you and Jay for, you know, the upcoming year. Again, congratulations on the 1-year anniversary.
Thank you.
And obviously, let us know at DoorDash, you know, how we can support you further in achieving, you know, your wildest success and your biggest dreams, because we're all fans of yours here.
Perfect. Thank you so much.